Welcome to the Classes Permanent Podcast. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. We have an awesome episode here ahead of you. We will be getting into some of the news from the international break. We will go through a recap of the friendlies, talk about a little bit about the USA game this past weekend, get into bracketology. We're going to do a World Cup qualifier playoff preview for the matches tomorrow, or I guess if you listen to it today. And then we will have, I don't even know if you want to call this a segment, but there was a horrible list on. So we're going to talk about our top 26 to make an impact at the World Cup. Fun episode, action-packed episode. Away we go. Alrighty. I am joined by a man who needs no intro, a man who I've run out of superlatives to give, at least positive ones, Mr. Daniel Capucci. What's up, Poochie man?
Hey, Ethan. How you doing?
I'm good. Why do you restart like that? It makes me feel so uncomfortable.
What? I'm excited to talk ball with you.
Okay. Excited.
Just two guys talking ball.
That's it. Just two of us talking ball. There's not a third person here.
Well, you didn't introduce Owen yet. So you introduced Owen, then I was going to be like, just three ball guys talking ball. Nothing better to do on a Monday night. It's living the dream.
Yes.
Where would you rather be? Where would you rather be?
That's true. Pooch, you know what? Why don't we switch it up? Why don't you introduce Owen for me today?
Here's a man who...
Here's a guy.
In a previous life, was a 6'5" striker for the Belgian national team. In an alternate universe, he would be known as the Leo Messi of the footballing world, not only for his IQ and brain, but also his foot skills and his ability to read a defense like 09 Drew Brees. Ladies and gentlemen, man who needs no more introduction, Owen Donahue.
Wow, thank you, Pooch. That means a lot. That really touches the soul. Thank you for saying so many kind words about me.
That was insane. Good stuff. Yeah, I guess we'll go around the room. Pooch, how's the shoulder? Where are we at right now?
Dude, it's actually fantastic. The weather was 70 degrees today.
Yep.
I really wanted to go for a run, didn't against doctor's orders.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're at, so technically it feels great. It's just certain movements, like angles, that it feels like my arm is going to break off, which is expected because it's been in a sling for the last 5 weeks. So PT's going well. Arm can go above the shoulder. Shout out John McCain, doing better than him.
Oh my God.
What?
Crazy shout out.
Shout out McCain, man.
I mean, if we're gonna get political, I feel like he's a good man. Maybe he was across the aisle. Yeah, different side of the aisle than me, but I would shake his hand across the aisle to hang out with him.
Yeah, I mean, a little difficult to shake his. Yeah, okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah. Besides that, it's going well. I think that my goal of mid-May to be good is looking strong right now.
Okay.
The only thing that I could see causing a impact to that is if I tear it again, which is on top of mind every single day I go to PT. Okay. When they're putting my arm at different angles, and I'm like, I don't think I could have done this before I tore my labrum. We probably shouldn't be trying this now. And they say, you got to push through it. And I say, all right, but if I re-tear it, you got to pay a couple grand for a new shoulder again for me. Like, that's how this works. So,
yeah.
But, yeah.
Maybe you'll turn out like the kid from Rookie of the Year, but like for gooning or something.
Well, I was hoping that I could just keep it with baseball. But, that's baseball at the end of the day.
Baseball and gooning. Owen, what's going on in your life? Owen has been hard at work trying to figure out how to make this podcast look more visually appealing, getting video going. Wasted today's 27 minutes of this one. Made poor John wait a while on the last one. Made us look very unprofessional. But hey, Owen, good to see you. How is everything going?
Goody. If you're watching on the YouTube, welcome. I hope it looks great. It's only going to get better as the episode goes on. Because as E said, I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this. Whether you guys appreciate it more than him, I guess we'll see. Hopefully you do. the bar's pretty low. But it's a pleasure to be here chatting with you guys.
Oh, and I'm proud of you regardless. I just have to keep your head. I got to keep your head small. I can't let you get too big because then you're going to go to a bigger podcast than us, and then it'll just me and Pooch trying to figure it out, And we'll have to get Brett back, and that'd be a problem. So, alrighty. All right, the fellas are doing well. Let's get into it here. Starting off with the news that's come out over the international break, and we're going to start with Arsenal. Pooch, I think it's been 9 players have left the Arsenal, have left their national teams from Arsenal to return with mysterious injuries. Takes on this?
I mean, I don't know what mysterious injuries you're talking about. Also, I would like to point out every single team has done this. Man City used to do it in their title charge. Liverpool has done it in their title charge. Let's not forget, Liverpool players also took PEDs during one of their title charges. But let me just read it out for you. Martin Odegaard has been out for 2 months. Okay, he didn't make it. Timber did not play, did not go. He was hurt before the international break. Declan Rice was carrying an injury going into before the City game, Carabao Cup. So when he got to England, the English medical staff, the England national team medical staff, sent him home. Kai Osaka has fatigue. Once again, the English medical staff sent him home. Madueke got hurt. Zubamendi hurt. Hincampie hurt. Eze hurt. And then Max Dowman was sent home from his PE lesson by Steve, the supply teacher. The overlap could possibly do a whole segment on it. Who knows? That's the latest report I got.
You guys should probably have an injury crisis then, because you just mentioned Hincapié is hurt, Eze is hurt.
Yeah.
Zubamendi. Okay, so we shouldn't expect to see them start at the weekend.
No.
You don't think any of them will start? You think they will not play?
Based on this guy, who's a pretty good knowledge source, Eze won't play. Hincampie probably won't play. He actually may, if anything. Zubamendi will not play. Madueke will not play. Saka will not play. Rice will not play. Timber will not play. Although Timber may play. And Odegaard may play. But I would expect Odegaard and Timber to be on the bench. So out of all of the guys that are currently hurt, I would expect Hincampie to be the... And that's because Calafiori is playing 180 minutes over 3 days. 90 minutes, his legs might fall off. He's like the SpongeBob guy that's made of glass.
Right. Okay. I was just making sure that we checked in here, making sure that you guys are doing all right there, because I saw a lot of injuries and a lot of players leaving camp. All good. No problem. Yeah. Let's go to the other side of North London. Tottenham are close to appointing De Zerbi. This is all I've been seeing on my feed. The initial reports were that he didn't want to come until the summer and make a decision then. It seems like Spurs have thrown an absolute bag at him and going to make him one of the highest paid coaches in the Premier League. My thoughts, because everyone wants to know. Number one is, even if we appointed him in the summer, I'd be a little bit hesitant. He's never lasted more than like a year and 9 months at a team. I do think he's a good manager. I just think he's like, it's very similar like Antonio Conte, that you better strike gold early. He's extremely tactical, and he needs players of like a certain technical floor. I just don't see this appointment necessarily working. But at that point, like, I want my team to stay up, so I'm just going to back him. He didn't have to come. And we signed him on supposedly we're signing him on a 5-year deal, which is kind of insane. That buyout at the end, if they do sack him, is going to be nuts. But, yeah.
From the outside, worst case scenario, signing De Zerbi for a relegation run-in. Like, if we're being honest, yeah, I don't know if he's ever had a relegation run-in, and the fact that you're going to be throwing him to the fire, and like you said, he's such a tactical manager, you don't need a guy that's a tactical manager. You need a guy that's going to get you points. He's going to go in there, like, when, I guess, tomorrow or the next day and be like, all right, you guys, we're gonna play a 3-4-1-2. I want my fullbacks inverting, doing this. My center, the players there are just gonna be like, can we just play a 4-4-2 and like get wins? Like, oh, we need 3 points. We don't like. To me, it seems like it's gonna be one of those things where it's like 3 weeks from now, you're gonna have 3 losses, and it's gonna be like, why did we appoint this guy? Like, I still think West Ham will be doing worse at that point than you guys.
Thank you.
But it'll be like we should not even be in this situation. Bring in Big Sam, bring in Sean Dyche, have you play 4-4-2, and just pick up points.
The problem is, it seems like, so I think Sean Dyche was someone that they were interested in, and the reports are that he'd only come on an 18-month deal. And I think for someone like Dyche, Spurs were like, we're only going to keep you until the summer. I honestly think that they probably went for De Zerbi. De Zerbi told them no unless XYZ conditions, which are probably a ridiculous salary, and no matter what, I'm here for the next 4 or 5 years unless I'm relegated.
There's probably also a relegation clause too that he has in there.
And then they probably circled and said, you know what, that's fine. We understand it. We'll come back to you in the summer. They went through. They got Tudor, who was the kind of what you're talking about, who's just a set the team up, play a certain style, just try and get results. It didn't work, and obviously, I would also say I think if what happened with his father didn't happen, his father passing away, I think there's a better chance that he's still the manager, transparently. But I think like he mutually walked away from the club. So I think there was a little bit of like, all right, like you're not in the headspace to just naturally. I don't know if his father had been like battling a disease or something and this was expected or not, but regardless, like horrific. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, De Zerbi is not the manager that I think I see getting us out of this, but he's who I have. So
if you guys overcome it and stay in the Prem, great signing, because I think with a whole summer, a transfer window under his belt where he can bring guys in, like I do think it will be a great managerial signing. But it's like short term, I don't see the fit right now. But like you said, I'm not in the back room, so I don't know if like they went through the guys,
right?
And like a Big Sam too is like, I want a year and a half, like I want 18 months. Like some of these relegation guys, that is what they're known for. Like we're just saying that, or we're asking for ridiculous wages.
Yeah, I think the other thing too is, I think they are trying to, whether we like it or not, like make like strategic moves. So I don't think they were interested in a Big Sam. I think Sean Dyche made sense. That's someone I would have liked to have seen appointed. At this point, the only other person I would have wanted is Ryan Mason in a very Michael Carrick-esque like man manager. If you don't want him, that's okay.
But no, because he failed at West Brom.
I know, but my point is he just knows the locker room and the players, and I don't really need tactics right now. I just need man management, and he knows his team. He's been the assistant coach the last 3-4, seasons. Or, and this is going to sound crazy, but maybe this is just me for the vibes. There was reports of Ben Davies.
I know.
Who was hurt.
I wanted that. I wanted that
as a player manager. Come on. I mean, he's not a player at this point. He's hurt, and his contract's up at the end of the year. I think he'll be either retiring or moving on. But you know how that would be so sick.
I mean, that's how Jurgen Klopp got his
exactly.
Same exact thing. Like contract up, he's hurt for the rest of the year. Basically, like they were like, "All right, we're already going down. Probably go in, coach, see what you could do." And he kept him up, and then was the manager. So I honestly, that was my hope when I saw those reports. I was like, that would be so sick. Imagine Ben Davies lining up against Pep Guardiola on the side. I don't know if you guys play City again, but if you did, that would have been so funny.
I don't
just
think
to
we
see.
Do,
like Pep is over here like doing like this, and then Ben Davies is aura farming, just like being like 4-4-2.
It would have been, I mean, that would have been vibes. I'm like so disassociated from Tottenham. I say this every week. I've been saying this for months, but like I like read the news and I feel like a neutral reading it, if that makes sense. Because I don't even have opinions.
Well, you're a Barcelona fan anyway. So.
Well, that's true too. But like even for those who I feel like are proper Spurs fans, like our good friend Owen, who I'll let share his thoughts too. I just feel like we're at a point where it's just like, get me to the end of the season, one way or another. I don't care if we're relegated. I don't care. Like, just I need this to be done because we can't sign players. We can't get rid of players. Like, it's just there's clearly nothing to win this season. Literally, the only thing that could be positive by the end of it is we're not relegated. But even then, you have a painful summer coming where, like, Kuti Romero, every report is that he is fully going to Spain. Van de Ven's probably gone. a bulk of the talent is probably leaving, even if we stay up. I mean, of course, not probably a Xavi Simons or Kudus, they just got here, but you're losing so many players, most likely, that you're kind of like, let me just like let's get to the summer. Like, let's just get to something that could be turned as positive. So, oh, and you wanna talk on your thoughts on again the it's Fabrizio is dropping hourglasses about it, so it's going to happen. But the potential appointment of De Zerbi to Spurs,
No,
fairs. That is as fair as it get. Positive or negative?
how positive can we be? I mean, obviously it's negative.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't particularly like Tudor. I don't particularly like De Zerbi,
Yeah.
and I don't think I like soccer anymore.
That's very fair. That is very fair. Was there of the names we said? Was there one guy that you were like, that's who I wanted, or was what was your thoughts on it?
I do kind of see the Dyche angle. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's fun. If if you had a gun to my head and I got to choose, I guess that's who I'm taking.
Hmm.
I Pochettino keeps his name keeps floating around. I just saw an
Yeah.
article that he had some comments regarding the situation. I think that's over and done with. Um, I wasn't. Honestly not a huge fan of Poch. Whatever.
Yeah. I think the whole Pochettino thing too, and the Spurs fans' infatuation is outside of Postecoglou. It was a sustained period of success where we were consistently competing in the Champions League. He didn't have a budget. Like it was like and it was stability versus a lot of managers that we've had have high peaks and then very low valleys. And I think Pochettino, no matter how low it got, it never really got that low. It was kind of like, all right, like maybe a bad season was, I don't know, you, we finished sixth. Good season is we were challenging for the title and at heights that we hadn't seen in a while. So I think like I agree with you. The whole Pochettino thing is over and done. Of course, if he came back and was the hero, that's a great storyline or whatever. But I think as a Spurs fan, you have to kind of look past it and be like, what has he done in the past 5 years since leaving? And it's crazy to say it's been 5 years. I think it may even be longer. But looking at it, it's like the U.S. team does not look good. That's something we're going to talk about. Chelsea, he was sacked. I don't. I think, from my understanding from Chelsea fans, at points he maybe wasn't. It wasn't fully his fault, but at the same time, like didn't do well
But
there.
Ethan, he introduced barbecues to the team. They had
Well,
team barbecues.
is that something?
It was
Good to
always,
say?
yeah, it was like the
I didn't
big
know that.
thing in the summer. It was like Pochettino has introduced team barbecues every Friday
To introduce.
staff with the staff and players to help build camaraderie. And it's like every Chelsea fan
Yeah,
is like it's so good to see something like this. We haven't had this ever. Like this is awesome. And then 3 months later, they wanted his head on a pike
yeah.
outside of wherever.
Dude had carne asadas that changed all their lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
He brought the halal cart from New York City. They were like, "This is the best thing ever."
New York City halal is a different beast, man. That shit's good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Um,
So gas.
yeah, let's keep it pushing here real quick. I've seen that the head of African football CAF, he has resigned amidst all this. Pooch, do you have more details here? Our chief AFCON
I
expert.
mean, he was just corrupt as all corrupt could be.
Yeah,
He was a man who really brought down the Confederation. People underneath him, and then like kind of working. I forget the guy's name, but remember the guy that told Mane to play on. Like those guys have basically been running CAF. So hopefully, maybe a bit more respect can come to the. Is it a federation or
yeah,
is it? Yeah,
yeah.
no, to the.
CAF.
Is that the federation?
What are you referring to?
Well, isn't it United States Soccer Federation?
Yes, it's USSF.
Yeah, yeah. So the continental game. I don't know the exact soccer term that they use, but hopefully a bit more respect can come with his leaving. And we don't have moments where they're stripping Senegal of the title and giving it to Morocco. So
Yeah, I mean, again, we've spoken about this. We spoke about it during the cup too. Like, as a neutral or someone that doesn't care, it's hilarious. But like as a footy fan, it's
I
like
lived this. I lived this, and I've hated him.
right. But that's my point. It's like as someone who doesn't care, who's just like tuning in once every 4 years or every 2 years, and is like, ha ha ha, look at like Afcon's so crazy. But then, like, as a footy fan that like actually sees that there's talent in these countries, and like, if you
Hmm.
don't have the best infrastructure of corruption, it is sad. It's like,
Yeah.
no one takes AFCON seriously or as serious as they should because you have this craziness that goes
Hmm.
on, and like that is what's holding them back more than anything. Um, but yeah, something I saw there. Another piece of news I've seen heavily on Barca Twitter, and I think it's trying to make its rounds. Fabrizio tweeting it. Maybe our first marquee signing of the summer. Going to be happening maybe soon, maybe confirmed before the summer starts. Alessandro Bastoni is heavily linked to be leaving Serie A and joining FC Barcelona. Um, Nuts. Did not think that this was something that would actually happen. He felt like Mr. Inter. He was actually someone that a couple years back when we had Antonio Conte, I really wanted for Spurs. It's like left-footed center back, made sense. Back three, Italian. So I guess one way or another, I might be getting my Bastoni. But I don't know, exciting.
From an Italian league perspective, this actually makes a ton of sense because Inter, for all the players that they have zero money. And I think we discussed this a few weeks ago when they got bumped out by Bodo, where it's like he's one of their only
Right.
valuable assets where they could get money back for him and
Yep.
input it into different parts of the squad that's an over like that's super old squad. So it makes sense that like a guy like Bastoni, they're willing to push all the chips in now and be like, hey, he's about to enter the prime of his career. Like
Yeah.
Barcelona are going to want a ton of money for him. Let's capitalize on this and rebuild the squad. It's like one of those classic like American sports, like a basketball, where
Yep.
like
It's a
you
reset.
have you have a Jimmy Butler, and you can trade Jimmy Butler, who's like early 30s, mid 30s, for two or three first round picks and one or two young players that you could
Yep.
rebuild around. So it makes sense to me that he would go.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. I mean, I'm excited for it. There are just getting into like Barca world. Like there are a couple of other guys I was kind of interested in just for the fee more than anything. 'Cause it looks like he's going to be 60 or 70, which is actually fair for him in my opinion.
Hmm.
But like for instance, like if Luka Vucevic really is available from Spurs for 40, like that's someone I'd probably prefer. He's played on the left side. But again, Bastoni is pretty much getting the next up and coming left-footed left center back available and sliding him in next to Kubarsi. 26 and 19 years old. Like you have two guys there that could be the back of that defense. Minimum 5 years, probably more than that. So
Yeah.
cannot be upset. The other thing is apparently Barca's transfer list is Bastoni, Julian Alvarez, and then potentially Cancelo. There's rumors that they're looking to sell maybe Balde, maybe sell Kunde. Selling Balde makes no sense to me because then they're like, oh, well, Barca would look for an alternative similar to Balde. I'm like, I like the idea of bringing Cancelo and he's looked good. Maybe Rashford will sign permanent. I want it on the record here. I do not want Julian Alvarez. I think he's going to cost too much money. I think he's not a proper fit. I want Victor Osimhen, or I want you name it. Like
Victor Gyökeres.
yeah, we'll take Victor Gyökeres. We'll take him off your hands. We'll give you Ronald Araujo. The memes this week about the Bastoni deal was that Barca offered like 40 mil on Araujo, and Inter was like, no problem, just 40 mil. You guys keep Araujo, it's all good. I honestly could see that deal happening, though, something like that, because I know Serie A teams have been interested. But something I've been seeing a lot of on socials. Oh, and then some other big news that came out today is Bernardo Silva is officially leaving Man City. So that's gonna make you happy.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe
To a
Arsenal.
point. To a point. I need to see where he goes first.
I was about to say.
He reeks of Chelsea. He reeks of Chelsea.
Yeah, well, he was the type of player we were linked with at Barca every single summer, and he makes sense.
Yeah.
He's Barca coded, but it was just like for so many summers, like, oh yeah, like that would be a great addition. And now it's like, oh, he's a free agent. It's like supposedly Bernardo Silva wants to join Barca, and it's like, no, like no, that's don't like you're good. You go
Yeah,
to
he reeks of two places. One Chelsea, the second one wherever Luis Enrique goes.
yeah, 100%. So we'll have to see, but it's always exciting when the transfer window starts heating up, and we're starting to see some of this. I also saw, I think, Rafael Guerrero from Bayern is leaving on a free for sure. Has that dude ever actually played for Bayern? He played
No,
at Dortmund.
but Rafael Guerrero, let me think. Oh, yes. I remember what people used to call him. Ready?
Yep. Try that again.
Ass.
I think that our Google Meet right now is altering your audio, so it's not coming through. So it's just Pooch made a fart noise for everyone listening.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're watching on YouTube, you probably saw it. Maybe felt it. Well, no. When he was at Dortmund, he was sick as a left back, and then in FIFA, if you turned him into a center mid, he was like 88 rated. And then he went to Bayern, and they just didn't do anything with him. So I don't know.
Yeah, Bayern's interesting. I saw recently that they've changed the past year and a half, they've actually changed their transfer policy.
Okay.
So what their transfer policy is now going forward is to try and sign like three or like two or three guys that would have an instant impact in the starting 11, like world class players. So, like for example, a Luis Diaz,
Yeah.
like at the left wing, like an Olise at the right wing, like every summer, and then the rest of their team, like the depth of it, will be filled out with the academy. So kind of like the Barcelona
Yeah.
thing, where it's like you sign these high level guys that maybe are like not in the twilight of their career, but like late 20s, early 30s, where it's like maybe they're on the you could get them on a cheaper deal because a lot of teams view them as older, and then like the really talented young, like really build up your academy, and then the youngsters you could be like, okay, Elise needs to break against Hoffenheim, like put in Leonard Carl, like, and have like these young guys really develop. And some of them will make it, and you'll see them start for Bayern, and then the ones that don't, they've had enough time at playing in the Bundesliga and on the first team that you could be like, oh, Dortmund, you want him for 40 mil? Here you go. Like, so they're going towards a more Barcelona strategy. So it'll be interesting over the next coming years to see how that actually works out for them.
I hate to say it this way. I think that is proven time and time again with different teams that is the best strategy.
I mean, that's basically what Arsenal did too.
Right.
Maybe not to the extent that a Barcelona does it,
Mm-hmm.
where they go, here's 10 guys from our academy and they're all going to start immediately.
Right.
But when Arteta first got in, I mean, you had guys like Emil Smith Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, Bukayo Saka playing pivotal roles for Arsenal, and then you bring in an Odegaard, you bring in a Rice once you feel like you're at a good level and you kind of weeded out the best. But yeah, I agree. It is the best strategy.
100%. Alrighty, some new news that came out too. Supposedly, so the Euros, which will be what 2028.
Yeah, we're going, by the way.
Yeah, we'll be there. Is that
Yeah.
Spain?
No, it's England. It's the UK. So
Uh,
it's England, Scotland, Republic of Ireland, the northern part of Ireland, and Wales.
yeah, I'm there. I'm in there like swimwear. Well, regardless, I don't think pricing's come out, but rumors have come out that Euro tickets will be more affordable than parking passes are for this World Cup. So goes to show how corrupt FIFA is. Goes to show that UEFA is still for the people. Yeah, whole thing's frustrating. We keep talking about it, but really is just going to show like the second they put something in the US, they think like, all right, we can just jack up the prices. Thing is, people are still going to buy it. And people still have bought it. So me and Pooch, we got to get this count to, I don't know, 500,000 followers for us to be able to get out there probably for free, get some media passes. I think that's fair. Oh, and all right, let's revise from getting to 100 Instagram followers by the end of the month. Let's get to 1,000 every month for the next year. Okay, so
And then
yeah,
and oh, and you can cheat. You could buy bots.
yeah, no.
I'm not opposed to buying bots.
Wait, Loki, why have we not done that?
Yeah, it seems like the right way to go about things.
If anyone has a bot connection, legitimately send it to me.
Like, but like we don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, whatever's most affordable. Find me a good bang for
Yeah.
your buck. But
Yeah.
but we also want good bots. We don't want like OnlyFan bots. Pooch is nodding his head.
Bot's a bot. Bot's a bot.
Someone put that on a quote card. A bot's a bot. Daniel Capucci. Yeah, and then finally here, We can talk a little American ball. How's your guys' brackets doing? March Madness, some big games. We have the Final Four set here: Michigan, Arizona, Illinois, and UConn.
My bracket is actually pretty good. Both the teams I had in the final game are still in it. Michigan, UConn.
Okay.
My only issue is in my bracket for one of the I guess regions, I had Wisconsin going to the Final Four. So
How did that happen?
because I've watched maybe 8 games of college basketball this year, all Seton Hall basketball. So I just went off vibes. So the vibes I had for the final game, amazing.
Okay.
But the Wisconsin pick was horrendous. And then on the flip side, I think I've watched maybe 4 games, so I don't know if I have the best knowledge of this.
Owen, you gave us a thumbs down. Why was that?
Yeah, I had a Duke Michigan final. So,
Fade,
yeah,
fade Owen.
yeah, vibes are low over in the Owen bracket department. Someone who's pretty historically good at making March Madness brackets.
Mm,
So at least I have one of my finals still in there, but no, that one hurt last night. Um, yeah,
yeah,
it's tough.
that was outside of, I'm thinking probably UNC Villanova when Chris Jenkins hit that three. That might be the most insane college basketball game I've ever seen, or at least March Madness game. Um,
What about March Madness? Okay.
yeah, I'm talking, and for those that did not watch, go watch the last 5 seconds of UConn Duke. Um,
Go
what a
watch the
shot!
second half.
Well, right, but I'm saying you could 100% you should watch the second half. UConn fought all the way back, but just saying you can watch the last 5 seconds. It was sick. Really, just watch that last shot. That was nuts.
Can I just add? I think that there should have been a technical on that final play, and Duke probably should have gotten an extra point, like an
For the
extra
Hurley,
chance.
the Hurley had
No, because they had a player that wasn't. Did you not hear the Duke call? The
no.
Duke broadcast of it, like, is the funniest thing ever because he sounds so defeated. He's like, and it goes in. Oh, but wait, there's a technical. He's on the court. So and so's on the court, and like just going nuts, thinking that one of the players on the bench ran onto the court. The guy was playing. The guy was on the court, and he thought he was on the bench, which is even funnier because he's calling the game. He ran on the court. He ran. No, he was one of the 5 guys on the court. Like if you haven't listened to it, listen to the Duke final call of that, like broadcast of it, and it is so funny.
That's good stuff there. Well, with that, unless you guys have any other news, if not, I think we can get into. We'll just talk the USA game. We don't have to talk about all the friendlies, but any other news here, fellas?
Nope.
Alrighty, then let's talk a little bit about this international friendly, the USA versus Belgium. Alrighty, USA versus Belgium. The USA loses 5-2 versus Belgium. I'll give my quick initial thoughts on what the rest of the group kind of hollow. So this was the US's. This is the final camp, yeah, before the World Cup.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, and when it comes to the Pochettino stuff, we spoke about Poch a little bit earlier. I actually mentioned this today to someone when I was coaching. I've kind of like taken a step back and giving any judgment, and I was kind of waiting for this camp. This camp was his whole process genius or idiotic, and I say that in the sense of was he kind of just calling up random players during these camps and just getting a vibe, and then he was going to make this camp like his final one. Based on the starting 11, it felt like it. But then Christian Roldan came back into the game, and I forgot he was even called up. If I am Mauricio Pochettino, I would have slagged off the U.S. and taken the Spurs job before Tudor did. I really fear what we will look like at this World Cup. I think our starting 11 is competent. I think the depth isn't, and I just don't see the vision. I don't know. And I mean, we lost to a good Belgium team 5-2. Felt very disorganized, very messy, and this is not a team that feels very cohesive and very strong heading into a World Cup that you're obviously hosting and have very big expectations for. That being said, I'm going to take a step back here and let Mr. Capucci share his thoughts.
So my thoughts are, I think you are a little too reactionary. I do think we actually outplayed them in that first half. I mean, it was 1-1 heading into halftime. We had two big chances. They had none. I actually think we played pretty decent that first half. And then obviously, like you mentioned, like Christian Roldan comes on at half, which I get, but if we're being honest with ourselves, he's not going to make the final cut. Tyler Adams, if anything, would be the coming into that Christian Roldan
Are we
role.
sure he's not going to make the final cut?
I well, think about it. That he might make the final cut, but in if Tyler Adams was fit and like able to go, he would have been coming on at the 46th minute, not rolled on.
Right, but I guess my point is did we leave people at home for Christian Roldan? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I
I don't know.
I understand. I understand what you're trying to say, but I don't think we should take too much into account that second half, especially considering the fact that like two or three of the goals came after we made mass
Hmm.
changes and basically brought on a whole new team. And like you said, like our starting 11, I think could compete with anybody in the world. Maybe not anybody, but
But yeah, I know what
a
you're
majority beside outside of like the top five teams in the world, we can compete with anybody on any given day. If it was 11v11,
saying.
no subs. With that being said, I think we have a good bench in certain areas. So like I do like Sebastian Berhalter and Tyler Adams coming off the bench for that center mid spot. I think we actually have good depth at the striker position. I think Patrick Ajiman and
Yeah,
Ricardo Pepi and Flo Balogun, like they offer a lot of different things, each of them that will be beneficial. Um, I think the two places that we kind of are like, I am sitting here being like, is the wingers and the defense in general. I
yeah.
don't, first of all, I don't think Matt Turner's up to par, which
I don't.
stinks because I like 4 years ago, he
Yeah,
was really, really good. I just don't think he's up to par. I think we have to really think about what we want to do with Tim Weah because he can
yep,
play both fullback and winger, but what is he that like he's just one of those guys where it's like he's good at both, but he's not like he's never excelled at either.
yep,
Um and then center back, like I love Tim Reen. I just think he's so old. And then Mark
yeah.
McKenzie is another guy where you're like, so like Miles
Well,
Robinson maybe.
well,
And
I mean, at the end of
so
the day, it'll be Chris Richards in one of those spots. He's
yeah,
obviously the lock-in. You're really finding his partner. I think is more so. But yes, I agree with you.
yeah, I just think like the wings are mainly like the center mid or the center attacking mid, it's probably going to be Malik Tillman starting, and I'm more than okay with that. I think he's probably our
Yeah,
best option there. But like, I do also like having the Gio Reyna. I just wish he played more. I
yeah.
like having like Brendan Aaronson's had a fantastic season. I
Hmm.
think he'll probably get on the flight. But there are, I think, if anything, this game showed us like some of these guys probably shouldn't get on that
Right.
flight. And like a guy like Max Arston, who I think is decent, but probably should not be getting on the flight.
Hmm.
Like a Roldan probably should not be getting on the flight. So I think if anything, like I wouldn't read too much into the score. Like on the first glance, a casual person that like maybe doesn't watch the game will be like, "Oh, we're gonna suck. Like we're gonna be really, really bad. Like we're gonna get grouped." No, like if I think people need to kind of let's just calm down. Belgium's like a top 10 team in the world. I don't agree with
Yeah,
that ranking, but technically they are. And three out of the five goals came once we made all the massive changes. So,
yeah. As you say all that, I looked at the squad, kind of calmed down, and I think I agree with you. I just think the vibes. I think there's
well,
something,
that's yeah,
and I think that's part of the issue. And it's not. It really does have to do with the fact we lost 5-2 to Belgium. I think it's the fact that like, all right, so if Roldan's not going to be part of the squad, I get it. Maybe you throw him in it for a last camp. But it's like I want to. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to have a clear vision of what this team is going in. It could be like you know what, like maybe we're weak in this area, but if we can just overcome it with this, and it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel cohesive,
yeah,
and that's kind of my. I guess where like I'm like I don't. For instance, the funniest part too, by the way, is like you have Weston McKinney playing as a right mid. I know he's doing all different crazy things for Juve. Tim Way is playing as right back. I almost see them as flipping. Like I'd almost flip that because you can have Weston then tuck in, right, as like an inverted fullback, and
yeah.
the way I play as a proper winger. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, they got to figure it out. You also have that kid Freeman, who I'd never really heard of until he made the move to Villarreal. I mean, I don't know how much he's playing there, but he might be able to get some minutes in. And then, yeah, it's just kind of funny. And for me personally, maybe this is some of my bias coming. I think Matt Freese has to be your goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He does when he plays for NYCFC, he doesn't make mistakes. He's probably not the best on the ball in the world, but he is also not risky on the ball per se. And on top of it, like he's just prototypical. He's tall, he's long, he comes up in big moments. I just feel like maybe this was Pochettino giving people a last chance.
I think that's
Yeah.
I think like a guy like Roldan and Turner, it was
Yeah.
more of that where it's like, hey, this is your last shot. Like you're on the cusp right now.
Yeah.
Like I need to see more. Um,
Yep.
so
Aiden Morris didn't play.
I know, but I'm excited that he made it. Like I remember his name from years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This team also I think they are they are beholden to the pressure that they have because for the last decade, basically, we've been told 2026
Yep.
USA Soccer coming out party. And from everywhere for the past 3 years, it's been semifinals or bust, semifinals or bust. Like basically
Yep.
saying like that's what like we should be aiming for. So every little mishap along the way feels like a monumental loss.
Yep.
Where it's like if we didn't put so much pressure on these guys. Like we're nowhere close to an Argentina, a Spain, and England who have been doing this for 40, 50 years. Like we're still in our infancy in terms of figuring out how to kind of cultivate that talent in the country.
Right.
So like realistically, like if we're being so honest with ourselves, with this group of players, around a 16, like win the round of 30, get out of the group, win a round of 32 game, and win a round of 16 game, and you have two knockout wins under your belt. That's a great showing for this country. Um, I think that a quarterfinal is realistically like where we should be aiming, where we should be looking at, and like too many people are saying like, well, they don't get to the semifinals. It's this generation's ruined. It's done. It's done. When you look at it, and we have like a guy like Pulisic's 27. Next World Cup, he'll be 31. Like he'll still be in the team. McKinney, the same thing. And you have younger players like a Balogun will be in the prime like Tillman, 23, he'll be in his prime.
Yep.
Cardosa, same thing. So it's like Tessman. Like you have guys where it's like this isn't really our final form, if anything.
Right.
It would be the next World Cup is where you're sitting there and you're going, okay, if we can get to the quarterfinals this year, then the semifinals is on the table the next World Cup.
Well, I think the other thing is we have really fucked up the development of this team with the way that we handled like bringing Greg back again, and just like the way that they've handled this has really fucked up the development. Where this should have been the World Cup, where I'm not saying it had to be semifinals, but we should have had a clear vision. Like, and I talk sometimes about like Canada and some of these other squads. Like Canada's ready for this World Cup. This World Cup will be Canada's probably best shot at for them getting out of the group and maybe winning a game is massive, right? And like I feel like again, maybe I'm just talking vibes, and you talked about it with the pressure. I don't even feel like it's fully on the players. I feel like it's partially on the fact of like the federation has not been as good as it should have been. All I should have been on this World Cup, and all I should have been. What do we have to do to put out the most cohesive and the best unit possible? You can't control your talent pool. You can't, right? Like you can't make your players better in the sense of after the last World Cup being like we have 4 years where our players have to get better. Of course, yes, you could bring in better players and you can hope they develop, but you can't control that, right? Like it's just what you have.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I think we discussed it a little bit last week. Jesse Marsh would have been the perfect coach for the next decade to lead this team.
Yep.
Like legitimately decade. Like he would not want another job.
Nope.
You know he wouldn't be like a Pochettino where it's like rumors every week about him going to Tottenham, him going here, him going there. Jesse Marsh it would have been like for the next decade, not a single rumor. He's content where he's at. But also on top of that, he would and it's I don't want this to come off as me saying Pochettino hasn't been protecting the players, but I think it's different because March is an American and
Yes.
he knows what this media, like he knows the
Yeah.
media landscape. It's different from a European media landscape, whether it's tougher or more
Hmm.
lax, whatever it is. He would know how to talk to the media and put all the pressure on himself instead of the
Yep.
players. It feels like, just going off what you said, where it's like there is a lot of pressure on these players to perform so well, and a guy like Jesse Marsh would make sure that none of that gets back. Like it wouldn't be like, can Pulisic, McKennie, and Adams do it? It would be, can Jesse Marsh even lead this team? What's Jesse
Yes.
Marsh doing? How come he's doing this? What's just, instead of like, Pulisic hasn't performed in the past three
Right.
years for the U.S. Why is that? Why is Tim Weah not good enough right now? Like, instead of us sitting here saying all this and being like, Roldan, how come he's a part of the squad? It would be like, why is Jesse Marsh putting Roldan on in the 46th? Like, I don't know. I just
I
think
know
it's
what you're
a
saying.
different. It's less pressure because Pochettino has such pedigree that in the American soccer mind, you're sitting there and you're just like, he knows better than me, so it has to be the players. Whereas
I,
Jesse Marsh, oh, it's Jesse Marsh. It's his fault that these guys aren't performing.
yeah. We could talk about Jesse Marsh for a while. My point on him only will be, I agree with you, and I just think, again, I heard his assistant coach speak in a small workshop. I don't know if I've said that on the pod, but I've definitely talked to you guys about it and off air and all that. It was just so clear the vision. It was
Mm-hmm.
just so clear the vision and just so clear the expectations and just so clear, like, this is how we play. This is what we do. We're not the best team on the field, oftentimes talent wise, but you will not outwork us. And like that, I think the best U.S. teams in history have been those. That, you do have Landon Donovan, you do have a Clint Dempsey, who you have one or two stars, but the team is like, we're probably not the most talented team here, but at least when we put on the jersey, everyone at home is going to feel a pride. And I'm not saying that this team won't do that, but that's something that this team has struggled with, is finding that. And I don't see Pochettino as being the guy to make them into warriors the way that Jesse Marsh would. Jesse Marsh being
Yeah.
an American, Jesse Marsh being able to say, when you put on this jersey, this is what you represent. We're gonna play. We're gonna press high up the field. We're gonna play rock. What is it called? Rock and roll football. We're gonna try. We're gonna like essentially win a fist fight here. So I don't know.
Even even
Yeah,
BJ Callahan. I
yeah,
think over the
yeah,
last 4 years since the last World Cup, that was the best I think the U.S.
yeah,
played in that Nations League when he
yep,
was there as the interim, because it was more of that, like, hey, this is our style. Like, I know everybody wants us to be like this tiki taka, like footballing
yeah. That's not
nation.
who we are.
We literally are, we're just athletic freaks who boot you about the pitch. We'll score one or two goals. We'll lock down defensively, and we won't let you score. Like, that's what we should be. And I
Yep,
feel like way too many people in U.S. soccer, from the higher ups to just the fans with the kids, watch Premier League, watch La Liga, watch Serie A, and they're like, this is how it should be played. How come the U.S. doesn't
right.
play this way? And it's too much of that. Like, we have to have our own footballing identity, and we do. It's just, I feel like the last 4 years we've gotten away from it because we want to see us play a certain way so bad.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that's part of building an identity, right? Like you could talk about the countries like Argentina. You would think their identity is attacking, but like Argentina's identity is actually like defending. They've always had the same thing with
Hmm.
like Italy. There's an identity. Spain has become in possession, passing, tiki taka, like through that, right? You talk about, I guess you could say many South American countries like Uruguay is like defending. Like their jerseys right now with Nike are all about like armor because that's what they do and that's how they play. What is the U.S.'s identity?
If they don't have
Right,
one.
right.
Yeah.
And you and I just named an identity based on who we are in the past. But like right now, like I don't know what our identity is. And I think having an identity, and maybe this is, I don't know. I think having an identity is so important to every single team. I need to be able to walk out on the field and know at the end of the day, maybe we're not if we're say defensively focused, we're not going to outscore you. That's not who we are. But I know that us as a unit are going to lock arms and like you're not going to score on us. Like that's just who we are. It doesn't matter.
Hmm.
And I mean, you see it with everything, like college basketball, even UConn. UConn's identity is winners. They go onto the court and like there was no fear in them at the end of that game. That kid didn't shit his pants. He hit a shot, and it wasn't like obviously it was a huge celebration, but it like wasn't a surprise. It wasn't like oh my god, UConn won. You like they were like yeah, we just stuck in the game. right? And it's the same thing. Like depending on who you are, like there's a certain expectation, a certain way to play, and there needs to be an identity that the coach sets. So my point here is I don't know what Pochettino's identity he has set, but I think someone like Jesse Marsh is gonna would have brought a little bit more of an identity for the players to
Hmm.
build, and everybody who goes into that camp to be able to say, hey, okay, even though I haven't been at the last two camps, I know this is what the team's doing. I know this is our identity, and this is how I have to play. That being
Yeah,
said, we'll leave the U.S. talk. We obviously are going to have plenty of time to talk about that. As do they have another game or no? Was it just the
they
one?
do. Tomorrow they play Portugal.
So by tomorrow you mean today, right? Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool. Just
No,
confirm.
no Ronaldo though. I don't think he's allowed in the country yet.
Yeah. Well, that's actually honestly more scary, um, because that Portugal team is pretty deadly. But that'll be another good test. I just want to see something where I can go, okay, cool. Like we got a decent squad. We have
I
cohesion.
in a perfect world, I would want them to start basically the same exact starting 11 they
Yep.
did against Belgium, and not make any substitutions until the
Right.
70th minute. Like let the guys play 70
Yep.
minutes as a unit, see what we have, and then bring in your subs and let it be
Yep.
like, okay, like here we
The,
go.
the one thing I'll say about Cardoso is, if I'm not mistaken, he went back to Atleti today. I think he's hurt.
Did he?
Yeah, so I think that was because again,
Yeah,
this
he
was
is.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he picked up a knock, so that makes sense. Why? Yeah, it says he has a muscle injury. Why?
But
Whatever
like,
happened. Yeah.
yeah, but like honestly, this team isn't looking like they're not a bad looking side. Like
Hmm.
when you look at it, I like Tanner Tessman. First off, I love Tanner Tessman. I think he's been a really underrated player for years. Why we haven't called him up more
Yeah.
will always kind of annoy me because I think he's really good at what he does. So I think having kind of a three of him, Cardosa, and Adams is actually really, really solid. And then you
Hmm.
add McKenny into that mixed in the center mid, Tillman, Gio Reyna, Brennan Aronson. If you want him to play a little bit deeper, I'm sure he can. Like our midfield isn't bad. Like I mentioned, like I don't. Oh, and how's Diego Luna been this year? Because I know he kind of popped off last summer, but I haven't heard a peep recently.
I think he's been battling injury.
Okay. Do what are percentage wise? Give me your opinion on his chances making this team.
He's making the team, I think, 99%.
Okay, so like a guy like that's perfect coming off the bench. Like he's the perfect like
Yeah.
winger replacement in the 65th when you need a goal or a little bit of energy. Perfect. Like we have pieces. Like we already mentioned the strikers.
Yep.
I just think it's like you said, like it's just that cohesion of that identity that we don't have. Like
Yeah.
we have the players to make a run to a quarterfinals. Um, but I don't know if they'll gel in time. So I
Right.
think that'll be interesting.
I guess that was the point, and you just said it. Will they gel in time? Because we have not seen I have not seen this team play enough together where I feel like they even know each other well enough. And of course, yes, like Pulisic's played with McKinney for years, and but in like their positions, right, where they're learning each other because you don't really get a lot of time, right? Like in between.
I'll
Yeah.
also say this. It sucks where we are in terms of the globe because all of the
Right.
South American and the UEFA, like the European teams, like the European teams especially, they have to play really challenging games in the Nations League, really challenging
Yeah.
Euros games. The qualifications to get into those are tough. For the US, it's like all we look forward to besides the World Cup is a Gold Cup. And honestly,
Yeah.
as a
No.
player, I wouldn't care. Like if I'm a Pulisic, I don't want to go to the Gold Cup.
Right.
Like nobody wants to go to the Gold Cup. If I was in charge of the federation, they're saying, Dan, you're in charge.
Congrats, Dan.
My number one thing would be sign us up for the Copa America for the next 40 years. Like legitimately,
Yeah. No.
make a
I
deal with
understand.
them. Be like, hey, you can use our stadiums, like everything,
Yep.
all of that, like for tournaments, whatever you want. Let us play in the Copa America for the next 40 years because that will help grow our game more. Because every 2 years, you're like, okay, we have to ramp up for this major tournament. And we're not just getting invited, we have to do the qualifications too. So, you want to know what? If we don't make the qualifications, we're not playing. Like,
Yeah. That's the funny part about Copa America. I don't even think they have a qualification.
I know the minute I said that, I was like, they don't have a qualification.
Well, the other thing is, it's like 9 countries in South America. So I don't
Yeah.
like. I don't even think for the World Cup they have a qualification. I don't know. It's something
No,
weird like that.
they definitely do for the World Cup,
Okay.
but for Copa, as I said it, I was like, that's why they invite people, Dan, like, 'cause they
Right.
don't have enough. So
That's why we got to sign you up as the president of CAF, or sorry, of U.S.
the
Soccer.
U.S. If I was president of U.S. Soccer, 2034 we win the World Cup, guarantee.
Quote card that one too. Let's get that
Yeah.
on quote card. No, I think the other thing U.S. Soccer could probably do is like, I guess they already do this. I was gonna say is maybe host their own tournament in off years where they invite a couple of teams. I don't know, but like no one's gonna do that.
The thing is, like, you look at
There's
a
really no
team
off
like
years either.
You look at a team like Argentina, like they constantly have to battle the Brazils, the
Right.
Colombias, the Ecuadors, the Chile when they're good. You look at the Europe, like Spain has to constantly battle Portugal, England, Germany, Italy, like all these big nations.
Yep.
Who do we have to battle? All we do at every continental tournament is go, okay, so we have to go through either Canada or Jamaica, or in the off chance Honduras, and then we have to play Mexico again. Like
Yep.
that's it. That's every couple of years. It's like, all right, just get through like the small nations that we know we're going to just destroy, and then it's Mexico.
Right.
So it's like we have one game, that maybe two, that we're like we have to focus up. These other countries, it's like for their continental tournament, it's like, man, if we don't pay attention during the group stage, we could get grouped like very easily.
Yep. I'm totally with you. All right. Well, we'll talk a lot about the U.S. I know we said that already once, but let's transition then into one of our favorite segments that is coming to an end. I don't know if this is going to be the final one, maybe one more at the end of the week. Bracketology.
Dun, 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 dun.
All righty. It is time for bracketology. And, you know what? I'm going to take a step back and toss it to the big man, to Mr. Owen. Owen, what did you put together for us today? If you put something together, that smile tells me you
Oh,
put nothing
Staddy.
together.
Oh, Staddy.
This man put nothing together.
You know, I'm glad you said that so I didn't have to say it. Yeah. So,
So we won't be doing bracketology. Let's move in to. We'll do so. For those that did not see, this is awesome. This is why we're the best soccer podcast. It's such a cloud, man. Let's move.
Wait. Let's just do a quick mental math bracketology.
Okay, let's do. Oh, this is bad podcasting.
No, it's
Players
not.
you want to get a beer with. Players you want to get a beer with.
Perfect.
Number. Who's your one seed?
My one seed would be George Best.
Yeah, all right. On the other side, my one seed would be. Let's just go one seed. Where's one seed? Would be. Thinking. Still thinking. Micah Richards.
Okay. Counterpoint, does he drink?
I have no idea. Oh, and can you confirm or deny that?
I guess I'll look it up.
Thanks. At least you can do. It's good podcasting.
There's nothing that says he does or doesn't, so it's probably safe to assume he does.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he drinks. Fair.
All right. My point for George Best is, you're not just gonna have one pint. You're gonna have multiple pints. You're gonna get him talking about the stories of the old days of when he used to like hang out with the Beatles. He would find the best looking women in Manchester. Go out on night on the town, all of that, and then you would sit there and you'd say to him, "Well, we should do that right now." And next thing you know, your one pint turns to about 45, and you're on the floor of a club in LA, and George Best is there living his best life. Just a wild night, one to remember. You go back, tell the boys, and nobody believes you. So that's why I'd choose George Best.
Okay. Fair enough. I'd go Micah because I couldn't think of anyone else who was funny off the top of my head. He's gonna laugh really loud. That'd be great. I think George Best wins though. I don't. Oh,
Okay.
and I would be like, oh, Micah, like has like Thierry Henry and Kate Abdu ever hooked up? And I feel like
Oh, especially after a pint or two, yeah.
he'd give me all the
Yeah.
juicy deeds. You know what I mean? So I feel like he'd be
Uh,
a good guy.
Yeah, a few honorable mentions, I would say.
Sure.
One, Peter Crouch.
Okay.
Peter Crouch would be good because he's so tall that you could just poke, and he seems like a jolly guy where you could just poke fun of him all night, and he wouldn't really get upset. And I feel like he'd neck a few pints.
Yo.
Another one, I toyed with this one because he has allegations of doing bad stuff when driving. Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, that's right. Why didn't I choose him? No, but
Yeah,
low key, like he might be
Wayne
like a little bit
Wayne.
of a dickhead.
Yeah, Wayne might get you into trouble.
How about? Oh, I have a good one. John Murphy.
John Murphy, great one.
Great one to get a pint with.
Great one. Let me think. I would get a pint with Clint Dempsey. I feel like
Yeah.
he'd have good stories.
Definitely not Landon Donovan. I've really
Nah,
disliked Landon Donovan
no.
over the past couple of years.
I've disliked him ever since we missed the World Cup and he was wearing a Mexico jersey and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. It's like, dude, you can't do that. Trying to think. There's definitely like three other names that I have. Buffon, although I feel like that wouldn't be as fun. I feel like that would be like like literally like you're going to get a pint and that's it. Like that
Mhm.
pint will last 4 hours. It'll be great conversation, but you're not getting up from the chair. And every single time the waitress comes over and is like, "Would you guys like another beer?" He immediately just goes, "No, we're good." And you're like,
We're good.
"Come on, Gigi, come on."
You know what? I feel like if I could get Kara and Neville in the same room, that'd be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Those two would be good.
Roy Keane,
Great one.
you know,
Although
you know.
low key, like I feel like I'd order something and he'd make fun of me. I
I
feel
know,
like
no. You would be the butt of. It's the opposite of Peter Crouch, where you could
right,
poke fun at him. Like
right.
anything you do, like you'd like cross your legs to sit or like whatever,
Yo,
and he'd be like, "What are you crossing your legs for? What are you doing?"
it's not too bad. Bale. No, sorry, I
Yeah.
meant Grealish. Grealish would be
Yes.
Jack Grealish. Yeah, could make
Yeah.
it look like he's never heard of him.
Well,
I
I
feel
thought
like
you said Mike Grealish, and I was like, "Who the fuck is Mike Grealish?"
I feel like he'd be on a blinder. Deli Alley.
Deli Alley.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
he'd go on.
The
Yeah,
only issue is you'd end the night doing balloons. Um,
that's no problem. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem.
what about? Ooh, what about PK?
Yeah, he'd be a fun one, and he's got like some decent status to him too. Oh, Ronaldinho. Don't
Ronald.
get on the
Oh, yeah.
on the
Okay. Okay.
beers.
R9. Like, I mean, I think
Yeah.
just that Brazil, we have to
Boom,
name
boom,
our like.
boom, boom,
Oh yeah,
boom, ta, boom,
you'd be
ta.
in a favela somewhere, and then the next morning it would be like The Hangover Part
Yep.
4. Like
Oh my God.
your mom would be calling you, and she'd be like, Where's he?" Or she'd be just like, "Where's Ethan? Where's Ethan?" And we'd be like, I don't know. We have to find him, and we're just in the middle of a favela.
I have the R9 haircut. I
Yes,
I lost my shoes, but I'm wearing
flip
what are those?
flops.
Yeah, what are those flip flops called? There's a certain company that makes. I think they're like
I
Havaianas
don't
or
know.
something. Yeah, I'd be
Yeah,
wearing flip flops. Boom, boom, ta, boom, ta.
you'd have the R9, but also like how they do the hair, where it's like highlighted at the top.
Oh yeah, it would be phenomenal. I'd have like a
Yeah,
Richarlison.
yeah. Richarlison wouldn't be a bad one either.
He'd be probably one of the best people to have back you up in a fight.
Yeah, yeah.
He not
Uh,
because I think he's necessarily the best fighter, but he is just like deathly loyal. Like he's just
hmm
gonna come flying in out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like you don't really want him against you.
What about Patrice Evra?
Patrice ever?
Yeah, yeah.
That was a joke, right?
That was a joke. Come on.
Okay. Oh no, I mean you say come on, Pooch, but I don't know, man. No, I'm good on Evra. I mean, let's go
Really?
through the general list. Ashley Cole. Would you
No,
have?
no, no, no,
Okay.
never. Unless I could smash. Actually, yes, because then after the pint, I'd start a bar fight because I'd smash it over his head.
What about managers? I feel like Jurgen Klopp would be awesome to get a beer with. I feel like he would be.
See, I feel like he would too, but I have a sneaky suspicion he's probably not fun to get a beer with.
What?
Because the minute you start talking, like the conversation would have to not be footy related.
Yeah, but I feel like
Because
that's
I
kind of
feel like
okay.
no, I feel like I've seen him get way too angry. It's like he has that like German anger thing where like he'd get too angry,
hmm
and then like you'd be like, "Whoa, dude, calm down." I was just saying how I like the inverted fullback. Like I
Right.
don't understand why you're getting
Here,
so mad at me.
here's the thing though. Me getting a beer with these guys. Actually, I don't want to talk footy.
That's true. Yeah.
I
Well,
like
some of them I would. Like, I would want to talk, like, not like, I don't want to go over tactics,
right.
but like a Neymar, I'd want to be like, how do you do this? How do you do that? Like, Ronaldinho, what is this about? Like,
Yeah.
was it really as fun like playing and then doing this like
I
afterwards?
just feel like yeah, I mean, like with Klopp, like I wouldn't want to talk about his tactics because I could watch it like any masterclass or any game and learn that. Like I'd just be like, I don't know, tell me about funny locker room stories, or like I don't know, like I would just kind of want to vibe with him.
True.
Same thing with like Carragher and Neville. Like I'm not going to be like oh tell me like your thoughts on right back. Like fuck that.
Yeah.
I'd be
I
like
feel like
who used to get the most smashed up after games, and I'd be like you know
Yeah, I feel like, and I'm looking at my map right now, like the
there you go.
Italians would be way too laid back, and it would literally be like, hey, do you want to grab a pint? And they would
Yeah,
just be like, yeah, I'll grab a singular pint, and that's it. The English, I think, would be, it's either hit or miss. Like a hit in terms of like, we're gonna have the best night ever, like we're gonna be having down in a couple pints, like
yep.
singing songs, all this. And then the miss is like you're ending up in jail because you got into a bar fight with Frank Lampard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Uh, the Germans, I think, would scare me too much. And I've drank with them before. Uh, French, I feel like they maybe might be a bit standoffish.
Okay.
I would think the best would be Eastern European
Yep.
because they seem just like such a fun vibe, or Iberian Peninsula, where like
Interesting.
both of those kind of areas, I think you could have a really fun night and like with those players or managers, and it would be like the only caveat to that would be I would not with Pep. Pep to me seems like I would like the minute since we're not really talking footy, he would just be like, "There's so much pain in the world, and we're sitting here having a drink, what are we doing?" And I'd be like, dude, I mean, it's just a Peroni. Like, we don't have to, it's a cerveza. Like, come on.
Pep's fit would just throw me off. He's always wearing some weird shit. I would just kind of be like staring at him, and he's I don't know, and then he start talking about his divorce,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like
And
I'd be
you're
like,
just like, brother,
I'd be
it's
like,
just a, it's a cerveza, brother. There's nothing to
I'd be
do.
like, all right, talk to me about 4-3-3 again.
Yeah,
Like,
and then you'd have him right there. That's the only guy that you'd want to talk footy with.
you know, who would be great. Have a beer with Postacoglu.
Yeah.
He would be just vibes. The Australians are vibes. We had NYCFC. One of the guys I worked with, he was part of the architecture team for the new stadium, and he'd come from Melbourne. And man, we were just chopping it up. He came up to us at a happy hour. Right? Someone was leaving, and he just came up to us. He's like, "Hey, what's up, mates? My name's blah blah blah." Like, "Hey, nice to meet you," whatever. And he just like as if we had known him for years. He just like walked into the conversation. Awesome story about a couple years ago. I think it was like the Melbourne Derby. I don't know where the fans ran on the field, and they were having a whole issue, yada yada. Tells the story as someone who's working in the stadium, like the experience he was having, whatever about that. And then literally, he's just like, well, nice to meet you guys, and just walked away. And we were like, wait, don't leave. You know what I mean? Like, stay.
Yeah.
So they're just a good vibe, man. The Australians are good people. Arguably, Australians are probably top three people all time, but that's a different podcast.
Yeah.
Give me your top.
That's my top three people of all time.
Yeah,
I
national.
probably, yeah, obviously. I would say I would go with Australians in no order. Australians.
Yep.
I would then put probably the Irish up there,
Okay,
and
understandable.
then third, uh, I want to say the Brazilians.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, it's your
Yeah.
list, no problem. I'm gonna put Filipinos, Australians, and why is that funny?
It's just the bigger you came in with just, I'm gonna put Filipinos. Like,
Filipinos.
just
Aus-
no nonsense, right to the Filipinos.
Let me tell you something, man. I've known many Filipinos in my life. Every Filipino I've ever met, happiest person ever, huge smile, always laughing. It is like reverse racism, like reverse stereotype in a good way. Like these people are always happy, always smiling. I love Filipino people. Australians, like we said, funny, straight to the point, kind of like the best of British without kind of like the annoying part of British people. If that makes sense, like all the good,
Yeah.
all the good kind of there. Third one will be tricky. I'm trying to think outside the box here. My third favorite type. It's tough. I like Spaniards for obvious reasons. I think I might go like Scandinavian, one of those countries.
I was thinking Sweden or
Yeah.
Norway or something like that, but I also feel like they're so kind of reserved sometimes,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. But like they're
Right.
like I don't know. I like a nationality that's a bit more outgoing, like you mentioned, Australians, Brazilians. Um, Brazilians are just such a fun-loving people. Like I think you
Yeah.
honestly have to put them in the top three.
Yeah. I'll go Brazilians. I'll go Brazilians for the vibes. So that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, and anything you want to share on this topic since you did make a bracketology and me and Pooch just spitballed for 20 minutes?
Um,
Great spitball, by the way.
Yeah, terrific.
yeah, I appreciate your spitballing, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I don't really feel the need to speak on this. Shout out the Jamaicans.
Ooh.
That's that's really the that's really the that's the only claim I'm prepared to make right now.
The other one I was thinking is the Scottish.
You live, you live. Oh, I lost my Jamaican accent.
It's okay. You don't need to.
Wagwan, General. Let the white boy speak a little patois.
It's a good episode, man. Yeah, I'm gonna replace Brazilians with Jamaicans for mine. So I have Jamaicans, Australians, and the Filipinos. All right. Well, time for us to move into our next segment here. Let's get into the World Cup. So today we have the World Cup qualifier, the playoff. I think we're just gonna kind of rip through the games and say our predictions. So
Real quick, before you do that, can you just quickly give the Speed World Cup song to us?
World Cup. Right? Is that it?
Yeah, keep going.
I don't know what comes after that.
Do you want me to put on my phone and then
No,
we can
we're
just
gonna get
silently sit
DMCA'd.
here and listen to it for about 2 minutes?
No, we're gonna get DMCA'd. They're gonna take the podcast down. Alrighty, first one, the game that has implications here: Italy versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. Pooch, this is your team, Italy. What do we think?
Yeah, first up, I think all games have implications going forward. But Italy, I think this game scares me. This is primed for an Italy loss. I don't know where they're playing.
They're
Let me
playing.
look.
They're playing in Bergamo, no?
Oh, again?
Oh, maybe I'm wrong about that. I think they are.
No, you might be right. No, they're playing in Bosnia.
Oh, they are. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that scares me a lot. I have to back Italy, but I just wanted on the record that this game scares me a lot, especially now I know it's in Bosnia.
Yeah, I think the bad juju comes from the video that came out. I think it was Zakario and a couple of the other guys celebrating when Bosnia beat who they beat. Albania, Serbia.
No, they beat Wales on pens.
So when they beat Wales, there's a video of like Zakario like celebrating. It looks like the players. That's just bad juju.
I swear to God,
that's gonna come.
If Vicario's the one that ruined,
it's gonna come.
Because he was dancing on Bosnia, like that's gonna kill me because he's not getting any game. He's not even the backup. Like he's getting 0 game time.
Well, Vicario's just making sure that Calafiori isn't in the Ballon d'Or race. Because that is something that's going to happen. Is Calafiori is going to win the Prem? He's going to, if Italy make the World Cup and win the World Cup, but if they win the World Cup, it's going to be should Calafiori be a top 5 in the Ballon d'Or like Jorginho was years ago? So Vicario's just looking ahead. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. Italy are obviously the favorites, but I do not want to play this game for Bosnia if I'm Italy.
No,
this is not what you want.
That's why I said, can we look up? Because if it was in Bergamo, I would have less
100%.
there. I'd be like, okay, like we got it'll still be tough, but I think we'll push through. The stadium capacity is 15,000, and you know it's going to be 13,000 Bosnians and Herzegovinians. Like it's going to be a lot of whistles going on during the game.
Yeah, I just think low key the only thing that might help Italy in this is the Italian players have so much pressure from Italian fans that not playing at home actually might help.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if Italy go down 1-0 early or something, if it happened in Italy, I feel like you'd hear whistles and like that, and that would
Yeah.
be devastating.
I mean, they did it at halftime of the last game.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Also, I'm pretty sure that Buffon is the assistant manager to Gattuso for the national team.
That's awesome.
Yeah, let me look it up really quick.
De Zerbi might be bringing Nesta with him to Spurs, which would be
That
insane.
would be good. Yeah.
Just funny.
That would...
It's like, what is Alessandro Nesta doing at fucking Tottenham Hotspur, man?
Okay,
Why do
ready?
people ruin their legacies with us, dude?
So Gattuso not only has Buffon, so Buffon is actually the goalkeeping coach,
Okay,
but
makes sense.
he has
Understandable.
as his technical coach is, he has Bonucci and Bargazli. So he literally is just like every single player that has ever done anything good for the Italian national team, you're going to be my coach. Like none of these guys, like Buffon, Bonucci, and Bargazzi, have zero coaching experience. There's zero coaching experience on that staff.
Man management.
It's literally just, we've won it. We're going to grab you by the collar of your jersey and force you to win this game. Which, fair enough. I'll do it. Like, I'll take it if it happens.
If you're Italy, you can't miss 2 World Cups in a row. You can't.
This would be the third.
Would it really? They
Yeah,
missed. They missed 2022. They missed 2018. Oh, and
they missed
confirm.
2018. I can look it up right now. They definitely 2018. They also missed.
Oh my god.
I don't think they've been out of the group stage since 06 when they won it. 2014.
That's
they
insane.
got grouped to Costa Rica and Uruguay in 2014. 2010. They definitely got grouped. They got grouped in Group F. Paraguay, Slovakia went through, and New Zealand finished on more points than them. So they finished dead last in 2010. They have literally their last knockout game in the World Cup was the 2006 World Cup final.
That's insane. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, yeah.
And not making, you can't miss 3 straight World Cups. Everyone at the federation needs to be fired. If that's, I don't know if they already have, but
they've blown it up multiple times.
Yeah,
it's just a whole mess. But yeah,
they are definitely talented enough on paper to, they're a top 15 team on paper without a doubt, without a shadow of doubt. Like maybe a top 10. So this is ridiculous. Let's move on to the next game. We'll obviously be keeping an eye on that Italy game. Czechia, not Chechnya, but Czechia, for those listening and care, versus Denmark. This is a tough one. I think initially my mind goes to Denmark. The only thing, though, is I actually think Czechia might be better than I'm giving them credit for. What do you think here, Pooch?
I think Denmark is really good. I think they'll get through. Maybe not easily, but Czechia also just had to go through a penalty kick, a full 180 a couple days ago. I just don't see them having the same team. Like you look at this Denmark team, and you're like, okay, we got Norgard, Højbjerg, Holzmann, Hoyland, Mikkel Damsgaard.
Yep.
Like they have a good squad. I think they'll get through.
I like that you start with Norgard. That makes sense.
That was the first name I saw that caught my eye. Actually, it was Hoyland, but then I was like, I can't start with Rasmus Hoyland. My point will just be invalid, so I had to sneak him in there.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now that I'm looking at it, I think I did one of those things where I remember that Patrick Schick plays for Czechia, and I was like, oh, he's a good player. And then I remember that Suchek did, but then I forgot that Denmark definitely does have more talent. All right, I think we see Denmark go through. I'll always like Denmark too for like the whole Christian Eriksen stuff. What's his name saving him? Like, so I always have a sweet spot, and I feel like was it them that wore like a jersey at the Qatar World Cup that was like fully black or something?
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Like they did. So all right, good vibes. Good vibes. We're rocking with Denmark. Kosovo versus Turkey. It's gonna be Turkey. Turkey is a dark horse.
Yep.
Not much to talk about here. Unfortunate for Kosovo. Sweden versus Poland. Now this is actually a really good game in my eyes. I think Sweden has the upper hand. I think they have a little more talent, but Lewandowski's final go. I don't know.
I don't know either. I think this game is the toughest to call on paper because I do think Sweden, like you mentioned, have the talent, but Poland, a lot of these Polish players, I feel like Poland is always one of those teams they're never going to win it, but they're always a dark horse to like make it. And once they get in, you're like, well, Poland could win this game, win that game. Next thing you know, Poland's playing for a quarterfinal spot, and you're like, how did this happen? So off the top of my head, I'm gonna pick Sweden only because I have to go with Victor Gyökeres in the mass.
Yep.
But I do think the back line of Poland is something to look out for. I think Kivior's had a really, really good year in Portugal. Bednarak has always kind of been around. He's good. The other guy, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, but he's probably good, I guess. Never mind, he's not good. But they have Matty Cash.
Okay.
So I think they have the players to win, but I think Graham Potter's going to get it done.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just thinking about this Swedish team, I mean, they got talent. Alanga, Gyökeres. Funny enough, I forgot Victor Lindelof even existed, but the bench as well. And I mean, you want the best players in the World Cup, and like Isak will he be back for the World Cup or no?
He would be back, yeah.
You want to see a guy like him in the World Cup playing
Ronnie,
next to you,
Ronnie,
yeah, Rooney Berg.
Rooney.
I don't know how to say that. Bergtai or something for Barca.
Bergvall.
Another one. Bergvall's another one. Yeah, I'm rocking with Sweden. Alrighty. Next game we have here is a fun one. This one is very our podcast coded. Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo versus Jamaica. I don't know. I got to look at the rosters, but I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, every bone in my body is telling me to go with Congo, and I'm gonna go with Congo because that's AFCON, baby. They have a really good team throughout. My only issue that's scaring me is Axel Tunesvi, who's one of their best.
Yeah,
I would probably say their second best defender is gone. Like he's out. So that defense is scaring me, especially because Jamaica, I feel like, is so front loaded in terms of having such a good attack and maybe not such a great defense that I'm sitting here and I'm saying like it might be a high scoring affair. I think both teams can score. Both teams will get up the field. It's just a matter of who puts the net goal last.
That's soccer. Yeah, I agree with you. I kind of rock with Congo. I have no idea. I have no idea. Like you said, this is a real toss-up. But it's always good to have the reggae boys, and I feel like they'd have an awesome home contingent at this World Cup. Like, there would be, you obviously have a huge Jamaican population here in the States, that it would be awesome. We just talked about some of our favorite people on Earth, so I'm going to rock with a top three for me, the Jamaicans.
Yeah, I really wish both of these teams didn't have to play each other and both could somehow make it.
Yes.
Because Congo also has the fan that is like their leader.
Oh, right.
Goes like that. And so I just think that would capture the US media by storm.
Yeah.
Just the one guy just standing there throughout the whole match, just standing up. I think that would be great, but like you said, only one can advance, which sucks.
100%. And then the final game we have here is, this one's a real doozy. Iraq versus Bolivia. I'm personally going to root for Bolivia. I feel like that's kind of my responsibility as an American. But what do you guys think?
I think there's a lot of things going on in the world where I really don't want to make a decision on this game. I feel like we owe an apology to maybe both these countries at some point.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here.
Once again, I'd like to pick both to make it. If it was up to me, all four of these teams would be in. But I'd probably, I guess, go with Bolivia to win.
Just looking at like this Bolivia team as we're talking here, one of their centers mid's name is Hector Cuella. His team is called Always Ready.
Hey.
Where does dude play? What league is this? Bolivia. Understood.
Bolivia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense. Pooch, can you name, other than the guy I just said, can you name one player on the Bolivia team?
Nabil Nassif Joffrey.
No, that was in. What did you just say?
Nabil Nassif Joffrey.
Okay. Let's look at the Iraq squad. Can you name one player on the Iraq squad?
Ali Hamad.
Give me a second to say. Yeah. Well, it's Hamadi. But yeah, he's on the team. All right.
Hey, guess what? That's baseball.
It's one of those episodes. I haven't had to say that in a while.
The fact that you thought you could get me with both of those teams is wild.
That wasn't me trying to get anybody. That was just me asking you a question.
You don't Caribbean football like that, like me. You're not always ready.
No,
You're not.
Pooch, you're right, man.
You're not always ready.
You know, Pooch, I'm gonna give you the crown. You're the king of Bolivian footy. You're a true Bolivian footy knower. All right. You know, you should go down there. We should maybe put some boots on the ground.
Double pause. Double pause. The second pause, political. First pause, just a pause.
Oh, I think Pooch is confusing Venezuela with Bolivia.
Aren't they next to each other anyway?
Dog, I don't know. You're the one who has a huge map in his room.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and thoughts on everything we just said?
Yep, it's awesome stuff. And I guess go Iraq and Bolivia. I hope they have fun out there on the pitch.
Where are they playing? Where's like who flew to who?
Okay, let me look. They're playing in Mexico. Guadalupe.
Gotta be insane if you're like a Mexican like citizen and you just like walk in the streets and you see the Iraq national team pull up. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's one where you're just like, all right, we got to rock with this. DR Congo and Jamaica also playing in Mexico.
Just, I feel like all four teams need to get dinner the night before and just vibe. The amount of like culture shock and conversation that can happen is probably insane. No one can probably speak the same language. Jamaicans are speaking English. Iraqi, right? Patois, Arabic, what? Patois,
Yeah.
Patois. Bolivia speaking Spanish. What was the fourth team?
Congo. What do they speak?
Congolese.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Alrighty. That was a good little qualifier. What should be our game of the day? Let's name a game of the day. That if you were a true Classes Permanent fan, you were watching this game.
There's only one answer.
There's only one game.
DR Congo, Jamaica. Congo, Jamaica.
I thought he was going to say Iraq, Bolivia, but I think he's sparing us of what that could look like. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our final segment. So this is something that we decided to do here. For those that did not see Fox Sports, they had their really awesome journalists like Nick Wright, like all just proper American sports journalists, put together their top 26 most impactful players that will, Fox Sports 26 players to define the World Cup. Transparently, the top 10 is not horrible. Number 1 is Leo Messi. Wow, this is really good. They didn't even write Cristiano. They wrote Cristiano Ronaldo. I swear to God. I swear to God, they wrote Cristiano Ronaldo. Number 3 is Lamine Yamal. Number 4 is Kylian Mbappe. 5, Erling Haaland. 6 is Christian Pulisic. 7, Vinicius Jr. 8, Harry Kane. 9, Ousmane Dembele. 10, Luka Modric. Let me give you I could go through this whole list, but before we do so, I think Pooch has put something together here to put shame to their list. I was going to just talk about the list, but Pooch has I don't know what he's been working on, but Pooch, why don't you explain yourself?
Yeah, I've been in the lab. I've been doing a little concoction of my own. Didn't realize it was the top 26 most impactful players. I actually don't know really what I made my list as. I think I just picked guys that I wanted to watch during the World Cup and that I thought people should watch out for during the World Cup. So I think that's what it is. Now, it's not a top 26 like the gentleman over at Fox Sports did. I actually made a 26-man roster. So 3 goalkeepers, a lot of fullbacks, a lot of center mids, and only 6 attackers. So here goes nothing. The 3 goalkeepers, Donnarumma, Pickford, and Emi Martinez. Pretty self-explanatory. My left backs, Cucurella and Wesley from Brazil and Roma. Stop me when you guys are like, whoa, wow, that's crazy.
No, you're good. I'm rocking with you.
Right backs, Reece James. I'm regretting putting this one in there, but Danny Carvajal.
Yeah, why? Wait, what? Why?
I think my brain froze. We were talking about something else, and after Reece James, I froze on another right back. If I'm being totally honest with you. So Danny Carvajal was the pick. the 4 center backs. I'm looking at this now, and a little homery, but I picked Gabriel, Malagalesh, William Saliba, Virgil van Dijk, and then Inacio from Sporting in Portugal.
This is really just a list of 26 players, dude. You literally just put 26 names that will play at the World. Oh, keep going. You're good. Good. This is awesome podcasting. Really good episode. We went from having a pro interview to, first off, we were just naming people to have a beer with, to now we have Pooch just listing players that will be at the World Cup. You're good. Keep rocking. Keep rocking. People are enjoying it.
Okay.
People are enjoying this.
4 center mids. Shit. Declan Rice, Petri, Chouameni, and McTominay. Now that I'm reading that, I don't think McTominay's in the World Cup.
That's fine. Yeah, you'd like to see him though, so that's okay. You'd like to see him there. Yeah.
This is so shit.
Dude, this is totally optional. This is voluntary. This wasn't even what we discussed. You just started doing this. Then you wanted to share it. Go on. You're good. You're good.
Okay. My 2 attacking mids are Fermin Lopez and Neymar. My two right wings are Messi and Yamal.
Okay.
Now here's where I get interesting.
Oh, this is the wait, everyone. This is the spot that this just got interesting. Yeah. Go on.
My 2 strikers look out that they may be an impact / I'm looking forward to watching are Darwin Nunez and Brahim Diaz.
Okay.
For 2 separate reasons. If you want me to explain, I can. If not, I can move on to left wing.
I think we're good with left wing. Let's keep going.
Okay. 2 left wingers, Marcus Rashford and Antonio Nusa.
Okay. Okay, I see that with Nusa. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Rashford is also Rashford, just an icon. Go on.
Okay. Well, that was the team.
Yeah, so I don't really know.
That was 26 men.
That was 26 men.
Technically 25 because the comedy's not.
Do you want to replace him?
No. I forget who I had originally there, but it was definitely somebody just more basic. And then I was like, oh, McJesus would be awesome here. And then I just put him down because I really like watching his comedy play.
Yeah. So my initial thoughts here. First off, thank you for sharing your 26 players that you, I guess, are an enjoyer of.
Flash are going to make an impact.
They're also potentially going to make an impact at the World Cup, especially McTominay. I thought that was awesome. My thoughts are just those are 26 players for sure. You definitely found 26 of them. 25. Yeah. Who's going to be the manager?
I didn't think that far into it, but if I had a pick, it would be Carlo Ancelotti.
All right. I want thoughts on Pooch's list that we've requested, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know what you're expecting me to say.
Just smiling. Smiling be like a dog when he brings back like a house that he killed, and you're like, congrats, I guess. I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's good to know we're all working hard here at Class is Permanent Podcast. We're all working hard on things that will show up in the final product as sad, frail, and embarrassing. So
it's just crazy where this podcast has gone. I don't think I can find a better spot for us to end this. Like I think this is as good as ever. So, on Pooch, you have anything else you want to share before we close this thing out?
I'll come back with a better 26 next week.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Enjoy the spring. Enjoy the weather, man. Don't worry about it.
On Thursday, and I'll have or Friday, and I'll have a better list.
I cannot believe that I asked us to talk about the 26 players that will make an impact to make fun of the Fox Sports list. They mocked us. They mocked us, and we had.
I think our list is better. My list is better.
Don't say our. Don't say our.
Also, real quick, I just want the listeners to know, I thought we were doing a top 10 countries.
Pooch wanted us to just list our top 10 countries today. Go ahead,
There's not a lot of football and content going right now. I already erased it, so I don't even know who
Yeah, you erased it? You don't even know your post?
It's in the notes app. I had Senegal at 7. That's all I know.
This is like you taking Wisconsin to go to the Final Four.
No, but I know ball. I know Senegal is going to show up.
Have they qualified?
Yeah, of course they qualified.
Okay, just confirming. Oh, and you got anything to share with the fans before I wrap this up?
No, not really at all. I hope you're watching this on YouTube right now. I hope it made it this far. That means there weren't any critical fatal errors that prevented it from being uploaded to the YouTube. So if you're here looking at our three faces right now, that means everything has gone right. And if not, fuck.
Fair enough. Class is permanent. Form is temporary. Enjoy the matches. We will see you guys soon.